my name is Isabel. Thank you for coming to my channel. So for this Halloween look, we're going to be doing a ripped face with a skull underneath. So it's a pretty spooky look if you ask me, but if you're looking forward to how I achieve this, keep watching. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start the tutorial. I'm using the Cover FX blurring primer just all over to help smooth that out for us. So for the ripped part of the face for this Halloween look, I'm going to be using liquid latex. Now, I know that some people do have an allergy towards liquid latex, so if that is you, I definitely would recommend looking into other options, and there are plenty of different options for you to recreate this look with. But before we do start, I am going to put my hair back because getting it stuck in your hair is not the funnest feeling in the world. I'm not too sure what brand of liquid latex I'm using as well. I just got this big old 16-ounce bottle from Amazon, and I will put a link down below. I will be using disposable beauty wedges as well because I do notice that the liquid latex will ruin your beauty blender. So if you have a beauty blender and you think that's the only thing that you can use, definitely go out and get these. Super cheap, easy to use, and will be thrown away. In addition to the liquid latex, we'll be using toilet paper to kind of build up on the layers to create a really realistic type of texture with the ripped face part. So let's get into this. What I'm going to do is take a white eyeliner pencil and kind of mark where I want this to start and to end. I'm going to go ahead and start where my hairline is and just kind of like roughly create a line. Okay, let's get into this. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip my sponge, kind of getting a nice thin layer of the liquid latex, and place some toilet paper onto that. So after we have that piece on there, I'm going to go ahead and put some on top to kind of blend it into the skin. So we are just starting, but you can tell that this process is going to be the most tedious part. Whew, that is just one. So if you want to do this as a last minute Halloween look, I wish you the best of luck. But let's just keep going because we cannot stop now. After you get the hang of like the motion and just like liquid latex, toilet paper, liquid latex, toilet paper, it actually goes by a lot easier. Alright, we did it! The first layer. And I feel like it looks more realistic with about 5 to 6 layers. So I have a blow dryer here to help speed up the process. I got it stuck in my hair. As I was saying, trying to be careful and not get it in my hair, but as you can see, it's in my hair. I should probably use a hair tie, which I will now do. But here is layer dose. I'm just going to go ahead and put one big old liquid latex layer on top of it. That way it's secure. I have a full layer. I'm just going to blast it up. With cold air, by the way. So I finally finished 5 layers of the liquid latex and toilet paper combination. At this point, what I'm going to do is take some liquid latex and just do the final layer. And this is really going to help smooth everything out. It did build up to look a lot thicker than what we first started off, which is totally fine because then it's just going to give us a little bit more room to work with. That way it's a lot easier to cut. So I'm going to go ahead and blast this with a blow dryer for the last time, and then we can go on to the makeup part. Whew. Alright, so after several minutes, the whole thing is finally dry to touch. You'll know that it's pretty dry once it kind of turns into this like yellowy off-white type of color. And after that, you are good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and take the NYX Conceal Correct Contour Palette. I'm just taking a really thick concealer brush and kind of going in with the darker color first, just to kind of lay some shadows and depth onto it. gonna take a kind of dense foundation brush just to blend that a little bit more. Then I'm gonna go in with the lighter one just to kind of go directly in the middle, just to add some highlight there. Okay, yeah, it looks really crazy, but now we're gonna go in to smooth it out with our foundation. This part doesn't have to be perfect either, and you're only doing basically a section of your face anyways, so something super quick and easy would be perfect. I'm just going to use my Born to Glow foundation by NYX in combination with my Milk Makeup Blur Liquid foundation and just kind of go in. Look at this. You see how some areas are a little bit more highlighted than others? I'm going to go ahead and take that lighter concealer color that we were using earlier and just going to go on top of those darker spots around it. So basically, now that we have the foundation laid down, I'm gonna blend it more into the skin by using a pressed foundation powder. I'm using the MAC Studio Fix in the color NC35. I'm taking my e.l.f. powder brush, which is like a flat top brush, just to kind of press that in. I'm gonna be using my Milani Baked Bronzer in number 5 Solei, just to kind of contour my edges. I'm going to do my eyebrows really quick with the Maybelline Tattooed Studio Brow Gel. So I am going to use an eyeshadow primer for my eyeshadow, and I'm using the NYX Eyeshadow Base. And I'm pretty sure this is in the color Skin Tone. I don't remember because it is rubbed off, and I've had this primer forever, but it is a tried and true. I love her. She works really well. I am just going to go ahead and use the Chocolate Bar Too Faced palette and just create a really basic eye look. Just gonna take a brown to my crease and then taking the light shade in the middle. Doesn't even matter because I'm gonna pop a wing on it. I'm using the NYX matte liquid liner to do this wing. And since it is Halloween, I'm gonna put on some big crazy lashes. Okay, so that is done. For the most part, this side is done. The next part is the crazy part. You're gonna need some pretty durable scissors. I just have my eyebrow scissors right here. They will do the job. They have done the job. I will say that it is really thick and hard to cut into, so it is gonna be a little tough, and definitely be super duper careful. To make it even easier, what you can do is take that white eyeliner pencil and actually go on top of the scar, just so you can kind of get an idea of where you want to cut. I'm gonna poke a hole at a point. Be very careful. This looks very dangerous and kind of scary. So once you feel it touch skin, get in that bad boy. Wow, we're to the finish line. Okay, cut it off. I probably cut off some of my baby hairs, but that is fine. Whew. Our face is ripped off, everybody. We did it. We're going to kind of add a little bit more dimension over here. I'm going to take the Pixie and Whaley palette. What I'm really just going to use is the warmish brown in here on a blending brush. And we're just going to go along the edges with this. That way it looks a little bit more bruised and scarred. And then I'm going to take a darker reddish brown to kind of go on the edges a little bit more. So you can go ahead and just kind of pull it a little bit. That way it kind of does look like the skin is being a little detached from your face. Now we're going to go on to the second part of this look. Oh yeah, you guys totally forgot that we were going to do the skull, didn't we? I forgot too. I'm going to go ahead and take a white pencil, and this is going to be really helpful to outline. So I know there are a lot of videos on how to do skull makeup. I'm going to go ahead and do my take on it. It's going to be very easy and simple because I'm a very easy and simple gal. So I'm going to go ahead and use my white pencil to outline where I want my skull parts to start. I'm going to try avoiding gluing down my eyebrows, so for my eyes, I'm just going to follow kind of the shape of my brows. So I'm actually using my bone structure to help kind of define what shape I want, but at the same time, using my imagination, I'm going to draw out a line where my lips are. That way it kind of keeps it symmetrical. Here is the outline of the skull. For the white skull part, I'm actually using foundation. And LA Girl, the Pro Coverage Foundation, does have a color in white. I did pick up the foundation mixing pigment in the white color, mixed the two together, and you do get a pretty good white paint. To paint around my face, I'm using the Wet n Wild concealer brush, this little cutie right here, and kind of go in. As of right now, we're gonna go ahead and go into the shadows. For the black base, I'm actually gonna be using the Maybelline Eye Studio in the Blackest Black. This as a gel liner is really amazing too. But what I'm gonna do is take it on an e.l.f. eyeliner brush and start going in. Okay, so I'm gonna use this super chewed up Morphe brush that I have. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take a black eyeshadow. For this part, because I do want to draw teeth out in there and then go around it with the black, I'm just going to start off in my lips. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of some teeth action as well. Now that I have my teeth kind of done, I'm gonna go up to my nose. I'm gonna go ahead and take that concealer brush that we had earlier and just kind of like ombre it inside my lips to kind of add like a dark shadow. I realized as we were doing the teeth that I just wanted to end it right at these spots. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in that area. So I want this area to be more shadowy, so I'm going to take that brush that we did for the eyeshadow and kind of just blend it all together. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take some of that eyeshadow and go along with my hairline as well, just to kind of add some shadow. And since I kind of like reshaped this area, I'm going to go ahead and go back in with the white. Okay, cool. And replicate on the other side. Okay, it's starting to look very together. We're actually going to go ahead and set the white foundation, and I'm just going to use a translucent powder. The translucent powder that I'm going to use is the Wet n Wild Mattifying powder. So I'm just going to take it on a sponge just so that way I can kind of like pack it in. We're actually going to start adding some shadows in here. How I'm going to do the shadows is basically just kind of outline any edges. Now I'm going to use the brush that we used previously. I'm going to go ahead and just like go on top of where we drew the eye. I'm going to take a very detailed kind of pencil-y brush to make it look more like a shadow. You can take some of the eyeshadow from the bigger, flatter brush that we used to set the black liner. I'm just gonna take my little mini brush just to kind of like add a little bit more product, but not too much. I'm actually gonna go ahead and use that to dab. And taking a blending brush, kind of like blend that into the scalp. Add some shadow in there. I'm gonna use the white to kind of like add a little bit more highlight up here. Now I'm gonna do underneath my eye, take some product on my brush, and just kind of go underneath it like so. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I do want a little bit more contour. So now I'm gonna kind of like outline my cheekbone. Now we're gonna go redefine these teeth and kind of curve them in like so to make them look more teethy. Amazing. This look is almost together. We're gonna go ahead and add some blood. The blood that we're gonna be using is by Nye. It's their Stage Blood. It's a little messy, so definitely wear something underneath that you don't care about. I am gonna take a disposable sponge once again. You can just rip it to kind of add more texture to it. And I'm just gonna kind of like start going along the edges of this. Add some splatters everywhere. Add some more blood splatters like around it. I want to add more scariness to it. So I'm going to take the end of a brush. I'm just going to kind of add like blood drops around the edges. Like let's do some underneath the eye. Like why not? Alright. Wow! Okay! Oh my god, I'm just like spooked out by myself. Alright guys, thank you so much for staying tuned to watch this tutorial. I hope you guys take any tips or tricks that I have mentioned to use. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!